listening or watching.
Yes.
Good evening.
Hello.
There. Hopefully
Good
you'll be able to
times.
hear me a little bit better now.
Yeah, you're a little bit louder, and I don't need to crank volume, which is good.
Yeah, I thought about that after the fact. Once Chip decided to be like, hey, this is way over here.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly excited for tonight. It is Connecticut,
Yes, it is Connecticut.
and we have left off on interesting roleplay moments.
Yes.
Indeed.
Anything we need to talk about?
You do not need
Yes.
backup characters yet.
Randomly, we are playing Hunter tonight instead of Kindred. So
Yes.
that's fun.
Yes, due to Faye started a new job.
Yeah, I started a
hasn't
job
had
where
a
I
lot
work
of
10 hours a day, and I'm tired.
yeah, and hasn't had a whole lot of time to plan. So we
Or
thought
sleep.
about this ahead. Yes, thought about this ahead of time and had that contingency already ready to go.
Yes. I thought things through for once.
Yes.
So yeah, we are not skipping Detroit. It will be on Thursday. We're just swapping the days.
Yep.
Well, whenever you guys listen to this, they'll come out within days of each other. So other than that, anything else we need to go over?
It was the Greshams and the Beans.
Yeah, let's see.
I gotta get my little piece of paper out here real quick. Hold on.
I'm blanking on like the moments where we left off, but I have notes about the actual case. So, yeah. Yes, the Greshovs have less than friendly neighbors who are combative. And it is a land dispute that we need to go get a deed for and figure things out.
Yes.
And there's a lot of money behind it, and we're wondering why.
Like,
Yes.
a weird amount of money. And there's someone named Quentin Sands, I think is going to be our contact there. I believe that's what it was from Gareth.
Awesome. Yeah. Yep. They will be there. So yes, I am ready when all of you are.
Yeah, I believe we left off as we were packing and starting to travel.
Yes.
I believe
Yep.
so.
All right, so let's go to our not our thing, but because I forgot to do that, I'm bad. So straight to the. I've been busy.
Not even reminded you.
I know, but then we didn't play, so it didn't matter.
I know.
I'll set another reminder for me to remind you.
Thanks. Can you do it more than like an hour before the game?
I did the day before.
The second time?
It's okay.
It was the try
It's good.
I started for the hour before the game.
Yeah.
Just let me know when we're there, and I'll do the thing.
No, we're good to go.
Okay. Well. All right. Everybody, quiet. Hello. Good evening. It's Dengle. I know it's Tuesday. We're playing Hunter, and I am your storyteller. Before I introduce our hunters, our cell for the evening, this is World of Darkness. We shouldn't run into a whole lot of this tonight. However, there might be some things that you might find disturbing, or personally you have some sort of reaction to. Mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. If any of these bother you to the point of you cannot continue, don't try. If you feel like you can come back and finish the episode, do so. If you can't, don't. We do updates. So You don't have to worry about missing a whole lot. Maybe some role play, but that's fine. So with all of that being said, joining me this evening is Nen playing Edgar.
Hi.
Buttons playing Rose.
Good evening.
And Faye playing Gladys.
Hello.
So, we had some roleplay last time. We did some housekeeping. We learned some stuff about each other, didn't we?
Oh, did we?
Good as players, probably not as much as characters.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Players learned some stuff about the characters. Characters didn't necessarily learn a whole lot about the players. Or other characters, for that matter.
Oh, we're breaking the fourth wall now?
I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's possible somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Mage things.
You all had talked with Miss Nichols. And realized that maybe she's not as bad as you initially thought. She's not the greatest, but maybe there's a little bit of redeeming quality there. Realized that Edgar has friends in high places. And I've used the term friends loosely. And Rose has friends in low places. And Gladys just has friends. You have been contracted to go to Connecticut. There is a land dispute. Need a deed from hopefully a house. Not 100% sure as to why they're paying so much about it, but apparently there's a lot of old money there. So, should be fine. All right, so who travels together? Just out of curiosity, because there's
Gladys is taking her mobile van,
Okay,
so I don't know if one wants to join her.
and I believe Rose was taking the effectively RV.
Yeah, I guess so.
So the next question is, who does Edgar trust more?
Edgar will go with Gladys since Rose will have an easier time sleeping.
I mean, the van is the one that doesn't have any beds. It's a workstation in the back.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Is you guys take turns.
Mm.
One sleeps.
Yeah,
one
that's fair.
drives. Yeah.
Sure.
So Gladys and Edgar get there about 8 hours before Rose does. You are scheduled to meet Quentin on the steps of Town Hall in Hartford, Connecticut, before proceeding to just north of Groton. Or New London, depending on if you know where either of those two are. They're right next to each other. Or close by Mystic. Anyway. All three of those. Doesn't matter. But Rose, you show up. And about an hour later, the person that you were given the description of seems to show up, and he just kind of sits down with a packed lunch, just waiting for somebody to approach him.
No hesitation. Glad's walking up.
Okay. He proceeds to undo his lunch, and he looks like a normal blue collar worker. He's got like overalls or coveralls. Yeah, coveralls. It's fairly nondescript. Wears a baseball cap. And as you approach, he's like, I assume you're Gladys?
Yes. Quentin?
Yes. Forgive me, I'm a little bit hungry.
Oh, go ahead. I ate just a little bit ago.
So, I understand that there is a land dispute.
Yeah, it's... I don't know, the whole thing itself is really weird because we're like states away and they contacted the person that we contract through. And there's a lot involved monetarily.
Right. Yes, I've done some research on them. Apparently there is a recent addition to the family. Both families, really. They have some issues from what one would call the old world. I think one came from Poland and one came from Ukraine or something. Or, well, I guess not technically Ukraine at this point, but whatever. I don't know what it would actually be called, but yes, Russia.
Soviet Union.
You're muted.
Okay.
Yeah. They were looking to capitalize on the money that was present with the move. It was probably a more of a money grab than anything. The remaining Beans and Greshams are on the older side. Let's put it that way. So
They're very much wanting this new blood to their family to prosper, is what I'm getting.
yes.
I guess that makes more sense as to why they're footing so much.
Right, and the families that are there are already... They already have their own money as well, so supplementing on what's there, it makes sense to be able to pay that much, and they just want to be able to maximize their returns.
Okay.
Between the two, prior to about 5 years ago, they didn't argue. They just joined or used the land jointly. Like I said, it's the new blood that is causing the rift.
That came 5 years ago?
Give or take, maybe a little bit longer than that, but
Hmm.
I know that's when I was asking people in the area, that's when they started having problems with each other.
Okay. Anything weird that you found out that we need to know about?
Not so much. I mean, it's a couple of old money families.
Okay.
They're both odd, so
Right.
as one would expect. Really.
I'm sorry. This is Rose and this is Edgar.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Well, as long as you don't have anything else, I suppose we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a little bit of scouting. As far as like the actual houses themselves, they're pretty big, given the area.
There any local concerns we should be aware of aside from the feud?
They said just make sure that if you're out at night, you you keep some sort of animal deterrent on you. Apparently, their guard dogs are attentive, is what I was given.
Great.
I mean, during the day they keep them locked up, so it's not a big deal.
Good. Yeah.
And they're
Let's
also
hope we don't
not
have to go
allowed in the
snooping at
house.
night.
They're also not allowed in the house, so.
Well, that's something. Did they agree that Gladys would pay Quentin something upon receiving this, or has it been taken care of already?
He was agreed to go with you,
Oh, okay.
so he would get part of payment.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I didn't have it written down. Well, I guess it's our turn to go see what's going on. Did you want to join us for that, or us to check in with you after?
I am absolutely willing to go with you.
Oh, I just meant because you're eating.
Oh, it's fine. I can take this. And he just holds up the sandwich, and it's literally just a tuna sandwich.
Okay.
I do have some crackers as well. If anybody else wants a little snack, I'm probably not going to eat them.
I'm good.
Save them. We might need them as distractions for the dogs.
Oh no, more like a stick. Swing it, and they tend to like back up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure this stick will be big enough, and she'll jostle the huge rifle she has strapped to her back.
Oh my god, you brought it with you? You brought that with you? Why didn't you leave it in the car?
I didn't know what we were going to get into.
I told you we're meeting a contact.
It's fine.
We've been ambushed in the city before.
Like, it's fine. You don't even notice that I have like 7 weapons on me right now. So
Yeah,
See?
because they're probably not that big.
well, and he kind of like opens up one of his boots, and you see a revolver in there.
Yeah, that's fine. That's hideable.
It's strategy. People have their eyes on me so they don't notice him.
Sure.
It's fine. I've also done some research on you from what I can find. Not a whole lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we can get going when you're ready, I guess.
Okay. And he stands up. He closes his lunchbox. You hear the crackers rattling around inside, and he just walks and eats his sandwich. And he will join Rose, since I assume Edgar's going to get back with Gladys.
Sure.
Okay.
Do the Grishaws.
Okay. And it's about an hour and a half drive. It's not a bad drive. It's not a hard drive. It's just, it takes a minute. And you get there about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you pull up to the front gate, and it is a stacked stone wall with a wrought iron gate. It looks very well maintained. There is an attendant at the front gate. He asks names, reason for business, and point of contact.
That was Miss Nichols, right?
No, the person that you're supposed to be meeting.
Oh. I have, let's see, Svona and Peter Greshaw written down.
Yep.
Same.
Yes, that is who you're supposed to be meeting. And he confirms, opens the gate for you, and it's manually swings it open. allows you to drive in. You pull up, and they've got a 10-car garage with 5 vehicles. They direct you to pull in, and it is actually big enough for the bus.
Wow.
It's deep enough for the bus. When you pull in, they close the doors behind you. And you are let inside. The person that leads you inside doesn't really give a name. They kind of tall, they're kind of thin, real dark hair. And so just take your time. We'll send Miss Savona to meet with you in just a little while. She's currently dealing with Miss Gresham.
Okay, thank
Making
you.
sure. Yes. Peter has stepped out for just a little while. He'll be back.
Where are we waiting? Is it like a library, a sitting area?
They are giving you pretty much free reign of the bottom floor.
Quick look around, see if anything stands out.
Okay. Intelligence and investigation, please.
2.
4.
2.
Now would be a great time to be able to read Polish, but they do have a lot of Polish books in the library. Sorry. You do notice, though, that there is kind of like a winged serpent. Sorry. Kind of like a winged serpent on the spine of one of the books. Just one, though.
The one in Polish?
Yes, one of the ones in Polish.
I'm pull it out anyway. Are there pictures?
Nope.
Hmm.
It actually looks like just a list.
Oh well. Put it back, I guess.
Maybe of names? A lot of it's very scratchy and very old. Obviously very old. It's a lot of faded ink and such.
Slide it back.
Okay, and as you do so, you hear a voice from the door. Anything interesting?
I'm sure it would be if I could read it.
Yes. The old country definitely has a certain mystique to it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Savona. I assume that you have Gladys, Rose, and Edgar. I don't know who this man is, though.
Quentin, he's an associate.
Oh, that's fine. Well, it's nice to meet all of you. If you would please take a seat, I will have refreshments brought in shortly.
Much appreciated.
Sit down. Very, on the edge, because I'm sure there's some grease stains on the clothes she's wearing, and she feels very awkward.
As you sit on the edge, she's like, no, you can get comfortable, please.
Sure.
Our help is very, very good. So, can I get everyone to give me a resolve and insight?
Okay.
1.
6 with a crit. It's like one of my few.
Nice.
4.
Okay. So Gladys, something feels just a little bit off. Not like crazy off, but just a little bit weird. Rose, you kind of feel the same thing. Something just feels a little bit uneasy, like something's staring at you. There's nothing in here to stare at you, but something feels like it's staring at you. To both of you.
Gladys doesn't relax back into the seat. She's sitting exactly where she was. Like ramrod straight.
Rose will also probably stay pretty stiff.
Edgar and Quentin sink down in the seats, and they're very plush and they're very comfortable. Savona sits. She's like, so, I believe you have been briefed as to exactly why you're here. And has the advertised price been told to you yet?
Yes?
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that you know that the entire scope of what is being asked.
As far as I'm aware, I have to admit I was taken by surprise with the amount.
We stand to make quite a bit of money. So, the amount being paid out per person is a dwarf in comparison to the potential profit that we will be making. There seems to be a potential literal gold mine under part of the property. We are just searching for rights, that's all.
I see.
Which is quite odd because typically you don't find it this close to the coast as well as this far east. So one of the very few, even if it's a very small vein of gold, is still rather profitable.
Right. So we need to search the house and see if we can find the deed.
For lack of better terms, and for lack of better explanation, yes. Now, I will caution you that I am not 100% sure as to exactly where the house is. I have a general location. I can give you the map of the property. It's a very old hand-drawn map, and it's at best 50% accurate.
Okay.
I would caution you and have you go in the morning, though. Our dogs, not that much of an issue if we tell them to not go after somebody, they won't. Theirs, they don't keep handled as much. They're more free to roam and much more apt to attack on sight rather than as commanded.
And they have free roam of that property.
Some of them have gotten back there. So we just want to make sure that nobody is injured. During the day, they are all recalled, and that they're at least good about. It's just at night, they just let them roam.
Is there anything else on the property that you know of or have rumors of that we should be aware about?
There is said to be a black bear as well back there. Now would be the time that if she had cubs, she would be roaming. Just be careful.
Yeah, don't want to tangle with the bear.
Right. If there are cubs, she's obviously going to be very territorial and probably bit standoffish, maybe not aggressive, but it can lead to a hairy situation.
Is there any roads on the property that you were aware of?
There are walking paths. There are no roads.
Unfortunate.
There's also a old carriage path, but even that is probably overgrown at this point.
Then I guess before moving any further, is there a place where we could keep the vehicles?
In the garage will be perfectly fine. They'll be perfectly safe. I'll make sure that nobody touches them.
Is she telling the truth?
Would you like to give a wits and insight?
I would like to try, at least.
Okay.
About, like, the whole thing so far.
Okay. Give me 3 then. Because I feel like there's been 3 separate parts.
1 is 3.
Okay.
2 on the first one.
1 is 4.
5 on
And
the
3.
first one.
3, 4,
2
3.
on the second.
2 on the second.
2 for 3.
And 4 on the third.
Okay. So Gladys got 5 on the first? Or not Gladys?
3. 3, 4, 3.
Rose.
Okay. So Gladys can know or see that there's something potentially a little bit more of an ulterior motive rather than just the gold mine. There might be something else to the story that somebody's not being told. But that's kind of to be expected at this point.
Yeah, I don't expect to have the entire truth for that.
At least that's what Rose picks up. Now, for the second part, the 4 is Gladys got 4. What did Rose get?
2.
Okay. So Rose knows that, the whole issue with the house and the map and the dogs and stuff like that, like that's 1000% true. They don't keep their dogs tightly contained. So just, if you see one, just be prepared to potentially defend yourself. And
Did
as
you
far
get
as
our
the
names
map-
mixed up again?
No.
Gladys. This is the second part.
You said Rose.
Yeah, I said not Rose. Yeah. But yes, Gladys knows all of this. And then third part. Gladys got 3, Edgar got 2, and Rose got 4. Okay. As far as the vehicles are concerned, she will not let anybody else touch them. She might touch them, but nobody else will. But her touching them probably isn't of malicious content. It's more so making sure everything is accounted for. At least that's what it kind of seems like.
Okay.
Edgar just kind of sits back and just takes everything at face value.
So we got all the information. I can't think of any more questions right now.
So, does all of that sound amicable to all of you?
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Okay.
I suppose we'll start very early in the morning then.
Good. I have prepared all of your rooms personally. I do not have a 4th, unfortunately, so I will have to do that. But All of you may find whichever room you so see fit, and then you have free reign of the property until sundown. At which point we let the dogs out and the handlers. We would rather not have any issues that arise because of that.
Right. We have sleeping spaces in one of the vehicles. One of us can take that for the 4th.
Oh no, it's honestly our pleasure. We don't get very many guests that stay here. Not a whole lot of people want to be this far out. They would rather stay closer to town. And if you're already going to be working for us, might as well give you a better place to sleep. So you have a nice, soft place. Get a well-rested place as well.
Okay, Rose, do you want to share then? Because they said they had 3 rooms, but not 4.
Yeah, she said that she'd prepare the 4th one.
Oh, I misunderstood. I'm sorry. Never mind what I said then.
But as I said, you have free reign. The refreshments are coming in right now, and there's a couple bottles of wine. There's like a rich people hors board.
Charcuterie board?
No cheese, actually. So not quite, but like summer sausage, cut up vegetables, stuff like that. And dinner is at 5. If you're hungry, I would be delighted if you joined us. You can meet Peter and the rest of the family, or at least the rest of the family stays here.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, enjoy this. And she grabs a couple pieces of things, have a little bit of business to make sure that everything's good for all 4 of you. And she hurries out of the room.
Nibble on a couple of the vegetables, but not really eating them.
They're very, very fresh. It's like they're straight out of the garden.
Yeah.
Said she had a map, correct?
Yes.
Edgar's also going to snack while he kind of studies that, see where he can figure out where exactly the property line is.
You do not have it quite yet. But it will come to you shortly. Quentin kind of grabs a couple things, tries the sausage, remarks that it's a little bit salty for his taste, but it's not bad.
Rose will grab a couple things to nibble on as she meanders around the room.
Good.
Oh no, I think I might go to the van and get some stuff.
Okay. Do you need any help?
I mean, if you want to come, that's fine. It's up to you.
Okay. Rose will cautiously follow Gladys.
Okay. Once they get in there, did anyone follow us?
I don't know. Let me check. Rose will put up Sense the Unnatural to see if there's anything nearby.
If there is, you don't notice anything.
Nothing that should concern us?
Okay, good. Gladys is gonna pull her bag and kind of like dig into the center of it as she sets it on the ground and opens that hidden compartment that we have.
Okay.
and take that cube out and put it in her bag and like shove things on top of it.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, something. I'm just in case. I'd rather it be with us.
Mhm. You're pretty stiff back there. Did you also feel like we were being watched?
Uh-huh. And something's not quite lining up right.
Yeah. I think there's more to it than the gold mine story, but I think they're sincere about most of it, at least.
Sorry, we've had a really bad run of things and I don't trust it.
I mean, fair.
I mean, I've had a bad run of things. Especially, so I just would rather be safe than sorry because I don't want anything to happen to this.
Sound logic.
Then she'll sling the bag back on. I guess we should bring some clothes.
Yeah.
Grab Edgar's to-go bag. I'm sure he has one packed.
Yep.
And then grab ours.
Mm-hmm.
As you exit the van, the same Butler, maybe, is standing outside. Can I grab anything for you?
We just were getting our clothes. Hold up the bags.
Oh, I can take them to your rooms.
Okay. She'll hand off the to-go bags, but keep her personal one.
And he hands you a padlock. So would you like to lock that bag as well? It seems to be very personal.
It's just my own things. It's fine.
I can take that upstairs as well.
Good.
Would you like to
I
follow?
stuff to take notes and stuff just in case we figure something out while we talk.
Oh, well. If you change your mind, let me know.
I will, thank you.
And he grabs the clothes bags. And he disappears with them.
Gives Rose the look. Like,
Gladys, Rose will mirror Gladys's look like almost exactly.
time to go meet the guys again.
Now, while they were doing that, what was Edgar doing?
Taking a look outside windows just to get a good idea of where, local landmarks and all that.
Okay. There is not a ton of actual physical landmarks to go off of. The grounds itself very well manicured. The hedges and the topiaries are very well done. Outside of the grounds and the stacked stone wall, it is just solid forest all the way around. To the north, there is a bit of a hill, but that's about the only landmark that you've got. The higher elevation than the lower elevation. Then as you're doing that, Quentin's like, so am I the only one that thinks that this is a little bit too easy?
Yeah, I know Rose and Gladys are also sharing that sentiment. I mentioned it while we were getting the details from Miss Nichols.
Right. So I would highly suggest if you have anything that you can potentially hide on yourself to keep that with you at all times. That being said, Savona and I guess Peter seem to be gracious hosts, and until they tell us otherwise or show us otherwise, well, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And Quentin goes through the bookshelves, picks out a couple things, and he kind of notes that there's a lot of Polish in this one. This must be the Polish family. And shortly, the other two show back up.
Our bags are taken to the rooms. I didn't know what you had, Quentin. I'm sorry.
All of the important things I have of myself. So
Okay, good. And she'll open her bag and, like, without jostling.
by all means, roleplay.
Yeah. Without jostling anything in her bag, she'll pull out the notebook that she's been using and find a pen somewhere and then zip it back up. So what have what'd you guys find out? And she'll sit down.
The Polish family brought a lot of books with them. No really notable landmarks for me to go off of once we get out into the woods, unfortunately. I'll mostly go by sun.
Okay, I take it that's something you can do?
I mean, sun it's going either on the east directly up ahead, or west.
It's in the west.
Yeah, I'm sure some kids show won't use that eventually.
Sure. Okay. So I don't really know what to do from here. We should really get information, but I don't know how to get it.
Yeah, I believe Savona said she was bringing back some maps and stuff, so we get to take a look at that once she comes back.
Maybe it'd be possible for us to ask questions at dinner when more of the quote-unquote family are around.
Yeah, that's probably good. I don't really read Polish. I'm curious about that one book I found, though.
Which one?
The one with the winged thing on the spine.
Huh.
It looked just like a list or names or something. And she'll actually probably... I know. Well, this is fine. I'll let her know. She's actually probably going to grab it and, like, jot down some of the list if she's not stopped, which we'll get back to.
I really want to know. I really want to roll to see if Rose recognizes the symbol on the cover or not.
He said winged serpent. So I guess we'll see. I guess time for some above table conversation here for a second. See, that cube is staying on Gladys at all times while she's here.
I am 100% okay with that.
Edgar's probably going to keep the Fey compass on him while we're here.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's actually a good idea.
What does it do again?
Locates the nearest, well, if there's a Fey object nearby, Fey object or creature nearby, it tracks it.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a good thing to keep on us.
So you might want to keep it away from Rose then, because she's still got that. She's still got that feathered serpent scale.
That's not a bad thing, though. That's a very easy way to track you. No, but for real though, I mean, how often are we going to come across a Fey artifact? That is a fantastic way to track Rose if she goes scouting or if we get separated.
That is true. That is true.
Because even if the three of us get separated, 2 people finding each other is still better than no people finding each other.
Yeah, definitely. It also increases the odds of them finding the missing person, so...
Right. So that's actually really fantastic. I totally forgot about what the compass did.
Can't exactly remember
great.
the range it has, though.
That I don't have written down.
I don't remember if Dengle specified a range. We'll have to ask him when he gets back.
Other than like eating and discussing and note taking and being generally uneasy in the area, I'm not sure what else to do. How was your drive up here, Rose?
It wasn't too bad. Thought I was gonna slide off the road at that one point when it kind of got really rainy. A couple days back,
Oh, yeah.
I remember it started coming down. Couldn't see more than a few feet out.
I think I was sleeping. I think Edgar was driving for that one.
And it's just as well. Just about got hit head on by someone who decided they were gonna take up the whole road.
I mean, sure, they can play chicken with a bus. That'll go over well with them.
It was one of those real sporty new cars, so of course it was zipping through the rain like it was nothing.
Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, having one of those would be really great. Wouldn't
Maybe.
work for our line of work, but it would be cool.
Oh yeah. Might make a
I
nice
think we've seen
getaway
one
car
come
in
through
a
the
pinch.
garage. They're so easy to find and track.
But if there was
I
a
think-
way to like take the inner parts and maybe put them in a less ostentatious vehicle, maybe.
That's
I don't
actually
know.
a really interesting idea. I'll have to remember that later. But like, I think we've seen one of them come through the garage before. I think
Mhm.
Smokey was telling me about it. Not for like specialty work, just general work.
Yeah.
I wish I was there to work on it. That'd have been cool.
Maybe
I mean,
the game will come by again.
Do we need a third vehicle?
I don't know.
I mean, because I can fit out another van like I did my workstation.
I don't know. If
I mean,
we
not with
have-
workstation stuff, but like other things.
Yeah. We'll have to see where things take us, I guess. If we have more people tag along, or if we need to haul like a bunch of like really big equipment, it might be a good idea to have a third. But I mean, we're doing fine with 2 right now.
I just yeah. I don't know how much longer it is going to be. I don't know what else to talk about.
Oh goodness. Shoot poop.
You two feeling okay, by the way? You seemed kind of jumpy earlier.
Yeah, sure,
What?
Peachy. Great.
There's just something about this place that sets me on edge a little bit. I keep feeling like I'm being stared at from over my shoulder, but every time I turn around, there's no one there.
Oh, we're talking about it now? Cool.
I mean, I
didn't
am.
know.
You don't have
I
to.
didn't know we were talking about it. Right here, in public. Yeah, there's just like, I don't know if it's because they're rich and we don't deal with rich people, but like, it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, that's probably it.
The ghost too. Who knows how old this place is?
I don't want to deal with that again, okay? Actually, I don't know if Quentin knows anything.
What, you mean you don't want to go ghost hunting through
No.
the halls?
No. The last time we tried that, I broke my foot.
True.
It still aches.
No, somehow I don't think this house will come down on top of you if you accidentally or purposefully shoot someone.
I really hope not. I don't want to go 2 for 2.
To be fair, I also don't want to be the reason some very rich families lose their mansion in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued. We don't make that much of the garage.
You know, it's interesting. I never thought Polish would be a language I would consider picking up. Until now.
I mean, to be fair, I certainly never thought that I would learn
Paleo Hebrew.
Yes, I certainly never thought I'd learn a dead language like ancient Hebrew.
I mean, Latin's technically a dead language.
Right, but Latin's like still used. It's just not spoken often. Ancient
Fair.
Hebrew.
That's kind of cool, though.
I mean, it really is. I'm working on converting all my notes into it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Man, if I were to learn another dead language, what language would I want to learn? I don't know, maybe... I don't know. Maybe something like super, super old, like one of those languages where they like, you like use the corner of a stick to make these little triangles. Have you guys heard about that?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there's like a... I remember reading about it somewhere. There's like, I guess there's like this really, really old form of writing where people would just take the corner of a sharpened stick and make triangles into like clay and stuff. And the patterns of the little triangles formed a language.
I see. It's back. Nothing crazy, just mostly talk between us and how uncomfortable this place makes us, and then the questions posed in Discord.
Oh, don't let her lie to you. We staged a coup and took over the house.
Oh, that's fine. Hold on, let me read these.
It's just 2 things.
Okay, so the range of the Fey compass. It is relatively short. Don't know exactly how short, but relatively short.
An investigation for later.
And the names from the Serpent Book.
Yeah, if no one comes to stop her, she would definitely write them out in her book. Not obviously not translated, but just like the as is, as best she can.
Okay.
And obviously not the whole book, just parts of it.
Yeah. Beginning, middle, or end?
Beginning.
Okay. It's a lot of very old sounding names, let's put it that way.
Okay.
I'm not actually going to give you those because they don't mean anything.
Oh wow.
It's fine.
Womp womp.
So, anyway, back to our game. I apologize about that slight intermission. I had to put a child to bed. So we'll have your talk, and you are free to roam the grounds. And you do stuff, whatever it is that you want to do until dinner. How many of you actually enjoy dinner with the rest of the family?
Enjoy
well.
would be a loose word, but Rose or Gladys would go.
Okay.
Edgar will go too.
And Quentin will also go. Now, when you sit down, and it is about 15 people there, ranging from about ancient to relatively young. Savona introduced you to Peter, and Peter's very tall, very thin, rather attractive, actually.
Is that her husband or son?
It is her husband.
Okay.
He has a thick accent. So it would stand to reason that he's probably the one that is new to the family.
Hmm.
And you're introduced to the matriarch of the family. If she's not 90, she's 89. Barely able to talk. She shakes. She's not long for the world, probably. And then her daughter, which is pushing 60 as well. And then Savona is actually the second daughter. Had a little bit later on in life.
And Savona is what, 40, 50?
She looks about 40. So, rather late in life. But, it is what it is. And then there's a couple others, younger children, that you're introduced to, and then some of Peter's family that he brought with him. There's an Ilya and an Ivar. And then there's also a, they call him Vova. But they give the entire name on him. He takes pride in it. It's like Zukov Vladimir.
Okay.
And then the butler is finally introduced.
Right? I've been curious about that.
Yes. They just call him Igar. Igar. If you want to write that down, it's kind of a weird name, but kind of like Ivar, but not quite. And then there's a couple of like the grounds crew and quote unquote help that have been introduced, but relatively not important. Not really. They're very quickly glossed over. This is this person, that's that person. And they move on. Dinner, however, is rather extravagant. It is 5 courses. As much wine as you would care to drink. They practically force feed it to you. It's very good, though. Very, very good.
Gladys would probably have a glass in total.
Edgar would not need to be force-fed wine.
Yeah, figured as much. Quentin has a glass in front of him, but never actually touches it. But he does eat all the food, and they make polite conversation. And toward the end of dinner, they kind of, or Savona kind of looks out the window. It's getting rather late, so I would caution if you are going to go outside to let us know beforehand. It's for your safety rather than for anyone else's.
I mean, I think we're good. I'm good, at least.
Yes, I don't think we planned on going out tonight.
Good. So I will let the Houndmaster know, and if they do see you, make sure that everybody is told as soon as possible. And the family sticks around and talks about their day and all that fun stuff after dinner. Do any of you?
Rose will.
Yeah,
She's
Gladys will
genuinely
make.
curious about him.
Yeah, Gladys will make conversation.
Edgar will stick around for a bit and listen in.
Okay. Quentin does not stick around. But they basically talk about the kids are happy to be out of school. They spent a lot of time down at the river. They actually got to play with other kids today, which is apparently a novelty for them. The older gentlemen, which there are a couple, talk about, well, just work in general. It seems like they own businesses. They say their work's hard, but they basically sat behind a desk and told people to do things. And then some of the younger ones, they talk about helping around on the grounds and all that fun stuff, saying that they're about to clear part of the forest behind the house for a stable, so they can keep horses again. Do any of you have any additions to make or any inquiries?
What brought them from the old world? If they're willing to share?
They very bluntly say the war.
I guess that would make sense, but
Yes, we saw the happenings in Germany, and we were not going to be part of that.
right. Sorry.
No, it's fine. We would not be the persecuted party, but we also cannot support that.
I mean, if any of them had talked about a hint of like science or tech stuff, Gladys would be all over that conversation. Don't know if they would though.
Not at all. They seem
I
to
didn't
be
think so.
very.
She would bring that up.
They seem to be very behind the time.
Fair enough.
Edgar probably has a slight buzz going on at this point, so if anyone asked him about anything hunting related, he would talk about it.
Actually, as a matter of fact, in the dining hall itself, there are definite trophies. There's a large wolf head. There is a large bear head. A couple moose, a couple elk. A bunch of deer.
What's the biggest point?
Probably like 16. Very, very large. Yeah.
Edgar will compliment them on the catch kill.
And at that point, the actually Peter engages. And, oh, you like hunting?
Yeah, I was in Africa for a few years as a hunting guide.
Oh, good. And he just furthers down that rabbit hole, and he brings out the quote unquote good stuff. And you two both very, very much get very, 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 very intoxicated that night, talking about hunting stories and biggest animals that you've ever seen, and it gets exaggerated rather quickly. Does Rose want to do anything?
Rose is pretty happy to listen, but if there seems to be a lull in the conversation, she will politely expressed curiosity at what Poland was like before the war. She's never been out of the country and would be very interested to hear their stories.
So for their purposes and for their explanations, it was very plain. It was very old world. Technology hasn't caught up yet. A lot of farmers, a lot of for lack of better term, simple living. And they all kind of expressed it was kind of nice living like that, not having to deal with all of the extras that America has. And then, of course, the matriarch of the family just kind of pipes up, and this is like the only time she said something coherent. I remember when I didn't have electricity or plumbing. It was awful.
I don't even want to imagine that.
But yes, they do give a very broad spectrum explanation of what Poland was like. They also did say, though, that there are a lot more larger estates over there, and the people that have wealth over there tended to flaunt it a little bit more, with castles and large manors and vineyards and farms that would be on the larger and excessive side of things. It's very beautiful, though. So they urge you that if you can make it after everything settles down, to do so.
I would certainly be interested. Much of Europe sounds like a very beautiful place to visit.
Is there any pieces of artwork or anything that seem interesting, or any metalwork?
There's a bit of metalwork here and there. It seems on the newer side, though, not necessarily anything. Artwork, on the other hand, there is kind of a good mix of new, old, and in between. The older stuff is typically like wolves and horses and men and the hunt and stuff like that. And then there's one that's over the mantle that it's rather old. It's just of a man. Just kind of in a suit and just portrait.
I mean, if anyone's around, she'll ask about it, as long as it doesn't seem like it's going to be offensive or anything.
Yeah, no. When you ask, it's like, yes, that is the original estate owner. There were two portraits when he was had an untimely passing that were made, one handed to each child. This is ours. This is definitely the better of the two.
What does that mean?
Oh, it's just the higher quality and better clarity of the two.
I see.
The other one, they have uneven eyes, and one ear droops a little bit lower than the other.
Odd for that to be done in a painting?
Yes, it was done by two different artists. They were trying to do them simultaneously, and it just, unfortunately, one didn't get a very good perspective or was drunk. One of the two.
I see. Can she spend a good minute like trying to really get that in her head, so if she sees the other one, she can tell what differences there are?
Okay. Actually, go ahead and give me an intelligence and academics.
Okay.
And if you have anything for history, you can add that in there too.
Just metallurgy. Ew.
Okay. So you spend a good while staring at this thing and getting a mental picture of it.
I don't want to do it to the point of being weird, but
Yeah. But yeah, you get a pretty decent mental picture of it. And you think you can probably recall it as you need to for next time. Anybody else?
Edgar's all set.
Yeah, kind of see about getting our rooms for the evening, I think.
So you retire to your rooms. Quentin is already retired to his. You can see a light underneath the door. Does anybody want to check in?
Yeah, actually, Gladys is gonna catch the other two and knock on Quentin's door.
Okay. You hear it unlock. Somebody opens it up, and he is in nightwear.
I'm not gonna take a lot of your time. Just kind of near sunrise. Is that if that's good with you?
Yes, I typically wake up slightly before sunrise.
Okay, just wanted to touch base on that before we go to bed. Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well. Sleep well.
That was all. I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page.
Probably a good idea.
Yep.
William.
You
Where's
mean Edgar?
William?
That's Edgar. Edgar, I hope your head doesn't hurt
I'm
too bad in the
tired.
morning. Go drink some water.
Green tea's better.
Well, I don't think you have any available to you. Good night. And like kind of spin him towards his room. Go.
Bye.
Hope he's not going to be useless at the crack of dawn.
Oh, he probably will be. It's fine. Too bad.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Does anybody stay up for any amount of time?
That guy's probably going to collapse immediately.
Maybe a little bit. Definitely long enough to kind of, if there's windows to the outside, see if we can see any of the dogs.
Yes. There are. And there are actually lights along the wall. There seems to be like posts with actual lights on there. And you can see them when they pass underneath each light. They are rather large. You're not 100% sure of the breed, but they look to be imposing, possibly some sort of mastiff. Gladys especially wouldn't want to mess with them.
No. No. Go to sleep shortly after that. Like curl around her bag as she sleeps.
Yes. What is Rose doing?
Rose will stay up for a little bit, just kind of listen to the hustle and bustle of the house, watch the outside a little bit.
Okay. So are either of you two staying up for more than, say, an hour?
Yes.
That Probably like trying to sleep but being uncomfortable.
Okay. Go ahead and give me wits and awareness.
Sure. I will gladly give that. Cool, as it is a good one.
1. These dice hate me. It's just a hunter game. It just hates me.
5 on a crit.
Okay. So Gladys doesn't realize anything. However, Rose, shortly before you pull yourself away from the window, you see an individual go walking out past the walls. They seem to be dressed a little bit different than everyone else, and you don't really recognize them. But they go out, and nobody pays any attention to them. And they don't return before you pull yourself away from the window. They're dressed in dark clothing, and it's kind of looks like they had a bit of a cloak on, maybe.
Rose will note to bring it up with the others privately after we've left in the morning, and will uneasily make her way to bed.
Okay. So, you all sleep pretty well, actually. Especially given a bit of unease that you two had. And Edgar's, you would expect to have a hangover, but you don't. Wake up well rested. And it's shortly before dawn. And as you kind of get your stuff ready and head out into the hallway, the butler is there. He is actually asleep in a chair, but he is out there. And when you come out and close the door, I assume you're trying to be rather quiet. He stands bolt upright. Good morning. I do apologize. I fell asleep in my post.
Morning. Are you okay?
Yes, I apparently dozed off a little bit. Usually I don't have to be up this early, so apologize.
Understandable. It's very early. I hate it. I have a question. Is there, from the property here, is there a way to get to the other property, or do we have to go to the road?
Well, you can go out the west gate and go straight over to the other property if you so choose, but I don't understand why you'd want to do that.
I don't know the best way to get there.
Oh, just continue west.
Okay.
That's a straight shot. You might have to veer a little bit left or right to meet their eastern gate, but there was at one point a walking trail between the two properties.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Would that line up with the direction Rose saw the figure walking the other night?
Not at all.
Okay.
Is Quentin with us?
He is up. And he does have his coveralls. These ones are short sleeve, though.
Yeah, just for stomping around, I guess.
Yeah. As you make your way downstairs, there is actually breakfast being made. They offer to make you a faster breakfast if you don't want to wait the extra 20 minutes. So yeah, they cook up some eggs, a little bit of bacon, send it out the door with you.
Swing by the van and just grab a handful of extra tools and stuff that she doesn't typically keep in her little bag. Like things to leverage, like crowbar and other things that might not be in her typical getup.
Okay.
Maybe some rope.
That's fair. So you grab your stuff, and as you make your way to go outside, you see the dogs being corralled and put away. There is a rather large building in the back eastern corner.
Wide berth for the dogs.
Yeah. But it's definitely big enough to house all of the animals that are there, as well as there's probably big enough to have like a small barracks as well. So, what do you guys want to do? Where do you want to go?
Head west. Well, so my thought about the driving path was that if we needed the van, if we needed to get anything, it might be faster than walking back here, but I don't care either way, I guess. Because I have this and she jostles her bag.
I mean, I'd hate to hit a tree stump and get stuck out there.
Right, that's kind of what I was thinking. Obviously not driving, like, in the other one, but, like, just up to the gate, but I think we'll be okay. I hope we'll be okay.
At least for this first excursion, we should be fine.
Yeah,
maybe if we
need
plan to stay out longer at a later time.
Yeah, or if we notice things that we need to come back for. I agree.
Also wouldn't hurt just to see what condition the road is in.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting the van over there, but I was just thinking just like up to their gate.
Right.
Oh. How far away are we from the house by this point?
You're about halfway between the house and the fence.
Okay.
Or the wall.
Oh,
those dogs were massive.
Yeah. Oh, that totally reminds me. I saw someone sneak out of the house last night.
Okay.
They were going.
Weird, but it's their property.
Well, see, I couldn't tell who it was. Didn't look like. Well, had this big old cloak. Like they purposefully didn't want to be noticed or identified.
That's weird. I don't like that. Did they go the direction we're going?
No, they went the opposite direction.
I mean, that's a plus.
Maybe. Or maybe it means there's more to be careful of than what they're telling us.
Yeah, but hopefully not in this direction. I'm not a fan. Something is so off about this. I can't put my finger on it, though. Just the whole situation is just weird.
Maybe we'll get some answers once we find the old house.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're just looking for the deed, but, like, I kind of want to poke around to figure this out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We're absolutely poking around the old house. Or at least I know I am.
Yeah. I mean, how could we not?
Agreed.
What say you, Quentin?
I am willing to go wherever all of you go, but I'm not going anywhere by myself. That is all I know.
No, we don't like going by ourselves.
No.
Emma.
I typically work by myself, however. In this particular case, I don't believe that I will be doing so.
Are you in a similar line of work as, Gareth?
Not quite to the extent that he decides that he's going to take the risk of. Mine is much more information gathering and dissemination.
I appreciate you coming with us for this, and I really hope nothing huge happens.
If it does, it's fine. I am at least armed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, what is Rose and Edgar bringing with them?
Rifle, and he has the fake compass in his pocket, along with his knife.
Rose is gonna bring her usual kit and caboodle: sniper rifle, ammo, flashlight, water bottle, and the protective amulet that she made.
Okay. Then I assume Gladys just has her bag with all of her stuff.
Yep. I don't know if she would have brought her crossbow. Given how stuffed the bag she made it, I'm not sure if that would.
You can decide as to whether or not you want to strap that on top or not as you're moving.
Yeah, I guess it would be good to have. Not too many bolts, though. That would probably get cumbersome.
Yeah.
Probably like 5 or something of just the normal metal ones.
Okay. So, you were headed to the other family's house?
Yep.
Can I please get someone to give me a wits and survival to not get lost in the woods?
You want me to do it?
You probably have the best. I mean, I have a dot, but it's not anything crazy.
Edgar has 5.
So do I.
I'm gonna burn a willpower.
It's early to be burning.
2.
Okay. You can at least follow the direction you're trying to go. West. Stay away from the sun. And this far north, you know that it's going to be a little bit southern, so you keep a general line of where you're trying to go, and it's not super hard, especially for somebody that's been out in the woods and out in the wilderness for extended periods of time by themselves. And eventually you do come up to much the same as what you left. The house looks almost identical. Rather than a lot of beige and brown, this one is blue and pink. However, the wall is the same. The gates are the same, just not as well kept. They don't have the lights along the sides of the walls on this one. You see about 3/4 of the way down to the north, there's a small hole that they haven't filled in yet. That's probably where the dogs are going. And you do see kind of a path of heavy traffic in and out from that as well. So, are you trying to be stealthy at all?
A little bit, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and give me dexterity and stealth. It goes for all of you.
We're back to 3s.
Still rolling nice 2s.
Okay.
I rolled 5.
And Quentin rolled 2 as well.
You're getting quiet again.
Quentin rolled 2 as well. However, as you all approach, you see somebody step into the gate. And, can we help you?
Hi.
I could hear you from a couple 100 yards away.
You have really good hearing.
No, you just were trudging through like a herd of buffalo. And it's a older gentleman. He's grayed beard. Overall large. Very, very bushy gray beard, like I said.
We were contacted by the Greshaw's to come try to find something. We were told it was okay.
Yeah. It's in the old house, not this one.
I thought this is where we were going. I legitimately thought this is where we were going.
I mean, talking to them, you could probably do that. Because
You know where?
Yeah.
Do you know where the old house is?
yeah, due north of here.
Thank you.
Do you guys have an appointment with anybody here, or any point of contact? 'Cause come all this way, I don't want to make it a completely wasted trip if you had a reason to be here.
Not here, no. We were looking for the other house and just kind of got lost, I'm assuming. I'm really sorry about that.
It's okay. If I honestly, if it was anybody else here, they'd probably just let you in. Or, yeah, it's just I'm not
Probably just what?
authorized to do that. Probably just let you in. I'm just not allowed to do that. It's not my property. I can get somebody for you, and you can go talk to them if you want to, even if it's through the gate.
Do we want to?
If you want to know what their claims are,
It might not be a bad idea to hear both sides of it.
I'll go get
If they're
Madeline.
amenable, I guess?
Okay. I'll go get Madeline and Zarkov. And they can at least give you their side of the story.
Be much appreciated.
And then he disappears and he comes back. And this couple's a bit older. They're probably in their late 50s. And the woman, which you would assume is Madeline, is like, and I assume that you were contracted by my cousins.
Yes.
Well, they are liars and cheaters. And I promise you, when you go to that house, you'll see that for yourself.
How so?
Well, which kind of things? Great granddad? I think it's 3. Might be 2. I don't remember. My memory's getting a little bit fuzzy nowadays. Clearly stated on his deathbed that this family was to have the majority of the land because we were the favorite. They probably don't even have the painting of him up anymore because theirs is messed up.
What do you mean theirs is messed up?
Well, the chin wasn't right, and that wasn't what he died in. His clothes are all wrong.
Do you have the picture up?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Kind of look at the others. Would you be amenable to us looking at it? It doesn't have to be today. We might be here a little bit, but...
And the man at this point pipes up, yes. Come.
Okay, thank you.
And it's very, 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 very thick, and it's very harsh when he talks. It's like, well, if he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. Come on.
Appreciated.
We even made muffins, so if you all are hungry, you may have some.
What kind?
Thank you.
And they lead you in. And the hedges and topiaries and stuff like that here aren't as fancy, aren't as well done. They're just kind of utilitarian. Everything, while it's more vibrant, seems to have more of a purpose of being there rather than it looks nice. And you go inside the house, and again, much the same. Everything that's there has a purpose. They don't have as many like wall decorations and rugs and fancy furniture. There's is pretty much all wood with like cushions on it. And you are led into the dining hall, which is almost a mirror image. And first and foremost, Gladys. The two pictures are nothing alike.
Okay. Just clothes? Just face, or is it clothes?
The entire person is not even close.
Oh.
So face, clothes, everything.
So it looks like a completely different individual.
Yes.
Interesting.
Now, Rose would also notice that. Edgar, not so much, because everything's a little bit hazy from last night.
Does this one have like the drooping facial features that the other family described?
Yes, it does have the one ear is a little bit lower than the other one, and one of the eyes is noticeably larger.
Okay. That's interesting.
Is that even the same person?
It doesn't look like it. They do have their picture up. I saw it last night, but I don't know if that's just for our benefit based on what you said. But it is very different. It looks like a different person.
Right, and they probably switched out because while this one isn't perfect, it's better than theirs. They just put some random person up in theirs and saying that it's Grandpa.
Interesting. So you're saying this is what he wore when he was buried? I don't know what you guys said. When he died, when he passed.
Yes, this isn't what he was buried in. He was just buried in very plain clothing.
Okay.
No point in burying him in something expensive.
I completely agree. Okay. So we know what we were told from them. Would you mind giving us your side?
Yes.
I mean, you gave us a brief thing, but
yes. Like I said, we have rights to land because, well, our side was the favorite. We didn't try to, well, for lack of a better term, nickel and dime the family. So when it came down to it, we were given all of the extras that we didn't nickel and dime. I'm sure they probably have told you that they want it for the gold deposit that's supposedly there. We haven't gotten any proof that it's there.
Can I wits and insight this?
Yes.
And this is specifically the bit about the gold mine in particular.
That's fine.
4 with a crit.
4 on a regular.
Mine's just kind of like an overall gist of, are they being sus?
They aren't necessarily being sus, but they do seem weird. They seem really weird.
Weird like the other ones?
Not weird like the other ones. They just have weird mannerisms, weird kind of everything. Edgar got 5.
5 on a crit.
Okay. So all of you can make the distinction that bit about the gold mine is absolutely truthful. They don't have any proof that there is actually like a gold vein there. When she goes on, she's like, We think that they just want to make it a lumber farm. There's plenty of it out there. It makes sense to do that, but going through and telling people that there's a gold mine out there is a bit extreme. Can I get everybody to make me a wits and awareness, please?
Sure.
Because at this point, there are quite a few people walking through the house. And you can kind of get a pretty decent look at everyone.
3.
6.
5.
Okay, so everybody would realize that the people that are there that aren't, well, the person you're talking to, look very similar. It seems like it's all of Zerkov's family, and then her, and that's it.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I don't think we're going to bring that one up, but good to know. Is there anything you can tell us about that part of the house or property or anything? They, I guess, from what you said, unsurprisingly, weren't really able to tell us much.
Right. It's been a very, very long time since I've been back there. I know the house is solid. It probably has a couple holes in the roof, but structurally, it's probably still sound. It's probably overgrown and past probably difficult to walk on. So just watch your step. However, like I said, the house is structurally sound. You don't have to worry about it caving in or falling, or shouldn't be collapsed parts of the house. Realistically, yeah. I can't guarantee that, mind you. And I know that there can't be any squatters there. We've always had people kind of patrol the area to make sure that there's no obvious signs of traffic. I can't give you an exact path out there. I can give you a general idea of where it is.
Okay.
That would be
I don't know if you have people looking right now. Is that going to be a problem if we go?
No. I would recommend that if you're going to go out there, just try to be back to a safe place by nightfall.
Yeah, we don't plan on doing anything at night. It's hard to see.
Well, that and admittedly, our groundskeeper is dragging his heels, fixing the hole in the wall, which I'm pretty sure you probably saw. And our dogs like to roam at night.
Ideally, avoid all the dogs. Yes.
We don't lock ours up like they do, but they tend to like to stay around here during the day. So that is the positive part. They tend to stay in the old stable that we have. You're more than welcome to go take a look. However, I wouldn't necessarily go to pet any of them. They are very well trained and they don't take well to anybody besides their handlers.
Good, thanks. Any other questions?
Not that I can think of.
No, we've
Well,
gotten a lot of answers.
if you don't
Yes,
have any
thank
more
you.
questions, if you don't have any more questions, please try the blackberry muffins. They are fantastic.
Absolutely.
Actually, as a matter of fact, let me pack you a small to go bag.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And she does so. She hands you a couple others. And she leads you out to that same gate and helps you along your merry way. The muffins, by the way, are fantastic. Very sweet, not super tart, especially for blackberries.
Once we're, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know how long this is going to be, like a good distance from the house. Well, that was really weird.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just in general, like, they seem to know a lot more about the house and everything than the other family that claims to own it.
They were also very upfront.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they didn't, I wasn't as uneasy around them as I was the other ones.
of course, there's no way to know for sure. That could just as easily be a front as anything else, but they seemed...
I mean, they didn't seem like they were lying about anything.
Certainly.
Did anybody else notice that the families seem to be very one-sided?
Yeah, I wasn't going to question that.
Just wanted to make sure that I wasn't the only one that saw that.
No, I mean, it was weird. They were out in, like, middle of nowhere, so I'm just not going to question as to why that happened.
Yes. Does anyone actually speak Russian?
I don't know.
No, I wish
No.
I did.
That's unfortunate. Then he produces something that he wrote down at some point. This was on a book. And nobody actually speaks Russian, so, and Russian's not one of those anything near equivalent to anything else languages.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That Cyrillic alphabet.
Yes. So he's like, well, when we get back to somewhere it's a little bit easier to look stuff up like this, I will figure out what this says. But it was, I assume...
Well, I mean, depending on how today goes, one or two of us might be able to run to the closest town to figure things out or get some more information.
What about your archaeologist friend, Gladys, the one that taught you that other language? Do you think if we ring her at the house, she might know?
I don't know how to describe that, to say what it is. It's not like I can say, it looks like an A. I mean, I guess there is one that looks like an A. But, like, I don't know what this one is. I don't know what it's called. I don't really know how to describe what the letters are. If I did, she could. Probably, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to the house and get everything taken care of there, and we'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll find a Russian to English dictionary.
I'd probably not, but, maybe. That's why I was saying one or two of us could head to the nearest town once we get a little bit more information out of the house.
Yes, absolutely. So, you trudge back. Can I get Rose to give me the survival and wits?
Absolutely.
Since Edgar did the last one.
Okay, 4 successes.
Okay. So with the help of the map, you get in the general area, and walking around for about 45 minutes, you do eventually find a broken stacked stone wall and a house inside. It is a exceedingly large house. In its heyday, it was probably gorgeous, but now it's like something out of a bad horror movie.
Oh boy.
Well, good news if anybody is living here, they're probably not actually living.
I don't know if that's good news.
Yeah,
The-
with some
the
of the
last
stuff
time
we've
we
gotten
dealt
up
with-
to.
Look, the last time we dealt with undead in a house, the house fell on me.
Right.
That's what we were talking about last night. I don't want that to happen again.
Right. Well, if they are undead, they probably aren't awake right now. So
I mean, that is good. I have flares that make a lot of fire.
good to know.
That's what helped us last time that we dealt with one of these. It was great. Good times.
Yeah, let's hold off on the fire if we can. I don't want to be responsible for burning down an ancient building around us.
If something's coming to kill me, I am using fire.
Okay. So, proceeding inside.
I want to look around the outside of the house first. Like, circle it.
Okay. So, you want to circle the house? Okay. Can I get everyone to give me a wits and awareness? And this is not to actually search the house. This is for something else.
4.
5. I got all successes.
4 as well.
Okay. And then we have Mr. Quentin. Did not do as well. You three get around to the back of the house, and you don't hear anything, but you do see a black bear out in the back, beyond the wall. And it's just sitting there watching you right now. But it's not approaching, it's not being aggressive. Quentin does not seem to notice it at all.
Oh, look, there's the bear.
Oh, wonderful.
Just watching us. That's weird. Let's hope the cubs don't come closer if there are cubs.
Yeah.
Yes, just keep an eye out for them, please.
Yeah.
Or if it starts making a popping noise, which usually means it's starting to get aggressive.
A what noise?
Popping noise, they usually clank their teeth together in order to scare away other predators.
You're doing that to the bear?
No, that's what bears do.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be honest, I've never gotten close enough to a bear to hear popping noises, so I'll take your word for it.
I don't do this. Like, gestures out to the forest.
Good thing we do then.
Yep.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't either.
The good thing
I'd rather
we do
just-
then.
I'd rather just be in the workroom. Like a
Now.
Yeah.
Can I get a intelligence and investigation for searching the actual house and structure?
Two.
I'm gonna burn a willpower to reroll that.
8 with a crit.
8 with a crit is quite a bit.
I got 4
I mean-
on the reroll. I'm not topping 8.
I actually rolled 3 crit dice, but you know. It's like the best roll I've ever had with her.
So nobody else really notices anything like that would stand out. However, Gladys, you do notice that for as old as the house is and as abandoned as the house is, the porches seem to be relatively clean. The doors are intact. They're not falling off the hinges or anything like that. There's broken windows. Paint's very faded, definitely peeling. There's rotted boards and rotted wood, but it's in a lot better condition than you expected to find it in. Then you look to the upstairs, and you can actually see in the windows. You don't necessarily, or the ones that are still like intact. You don't know if they've been spared from dust collection, or if somebody's actually been inside to clean them.
Okay. So I feel like what she would do is once they finish their first loop, she'd kind of catch on and then like do a quick second loop and like verifying what she saw.
Yep. And you absolutely do.
It's really weird.
What?
It's too clean. Everyone has said this place has been basically abandoned. I mean, in good standing, but abandoned. That means it collects nature. This isn't. I mean, look at those windows. You can see in them. Or out of them, as the case may be.
Rose is going... when Gladys says that, Rose is going to bring her rifle up to her face and see if she can use the scope to look in the upper windows.
Yes, and they aren't necessarily without a little bit of haze, but they are far cleaner than you would expect.
Huh. You have a point.
I know I do. That's why I said it.
So
Do
we
you
should
see
probably be
anything?
ready for anything.
I guess so.
Do you see anything in there?
I don't know, Storyteller. Do I see anything in there?
No. Peeling wallpaper. A painting that looks like it's seen far better days, but nothing else.
Old house stuff. Nothing shocking or concerning.
I mean, that bodes well for now. I guess we go in. What?
I was just going to say, I mean, on the bright side, if the upstairs is clean, that means the integrity of the upstairs is intact. At least for the most part. It
also means someone's in there cleaning it.
And hopefully they won't be right now.
Yeah, let's hope. Front or back? Actually, as we walked around the house, was there a cellar door?
There is not, actually.
No cold room or anything like that?
No.
Is there any sheds or anything?
There was one at one point. That has collapsed in itself. But there is a pile of wood that you would presume to be either a cold room or just a shed or something of that nature.
So there's no outlying buildings close?
That are still standing, no.
Right. Okay. Front or back?
So like straight into the front.
Actually, do you want to split up? 2 and 2?
Might not be the worst idea.
Why don't you two take the back in case the bear thing happens? You guys know how to handle that better.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So, Gladys and Quentin in the front? Okay. So, who would like to go first?
Edgar Rose.
Yeah, let's do team backdoor.
Okay. Yeah. Not
Yes, I
phrasing,
made
but
that
it's okay.
reference. Yes, I made that reference.
All right, so you go to the back, and the bear's still standing there, or sitting there, as it were. And as it sees you come back around, it kind of gives a real quick like chuff, and it kind of runs off into the woods. Um, and you open the back door, and it sticks. The handle's a little bit rusty, and hinges seem not quite to actually be oiled that well. Um, and it creaks as you open it in. When you do finally get it open, get some light in there, there is a layer of dust, probably not as thick as you would expect. Um, Seems to be undisturbed, and it looks like an old kitchen. There are rusted cast iron pots on the wall, an old um, wood burning stove that has definitely seen better days. Um, and the countertops that are there are dry rotted. They're wooden, but they're very much dry rotted.
Well, if this is the kitchen, maybe the dining room is nearby.
Any doors that would lead directly to the dining room?
There are two doors, one directly ahead of you and one off to the left.
I think left is the dining room.
I think left might be a pantry, but we can try it first if you want.
All right, let's do that.
So you open the left, and it is in fact a pantry, and then you see on the other side a very small bedroom, actually a very small series of bedrooms, and a very narrow staircase going up, and then a set of stairs going down as well.
Looks like the servants' quarters too.
We'll have to remember that staircase is here, though.
Agreed.
Go back. I want to see if there's a painting in this dining room like there were in the others.
Okay.
So you go through the other door, and sure enough, straight into the dining room. The table that is there is, again, very old. Definitely seen better days. It's still in one piece, but just barely. The chairs that are supposed to have upholstery have been moth eaten. There's a very thick layer of dust here, and everything on the walls has collected dust. Paintings that are there, canvas is ripped. The candelabras that are still there are thick with dust. Um, and over top of the mantle, there is a very large painting. It is ripped, it is torn, and you can see enough of it that the second painting seems to be a closer likeness than the first one that you saw at the other family's houses.
You're seeing this too, Edgar?
Yeah.
We'll have to let
So-
Gladys know. Pity it got torn.
How high up is it?
It's not the height, it's the size. Between Edgar and Rose, you probably couldn't lift it. It's probably 8 feet by like 12 feet. And it's like eye height. It's also a golden frame. It's It's not like a wood frame, it's actually gold.
Maybe we should just tell them about the frame. That's probably enough gold to keep them satisfied, right?
Probably.
Now,
You know, it is kind of odd that they would just leave it there if they were so invested in trying to find gold.
Can I get both of you to give me an intelligence in either academics or science as well? I know this is probably going to go about as well as me trying to do, I don't know, French homework or something, but yeah.
1.
Thanks for Edgar. Gonna burn willpower.
Okay.
Okay. 7 on the crit.
What in the world did you roll?
Originally I had 2, but I rolled a second 0 and then 2 more successes.
How many dice did you have?
Edgar got 6 for intelligence and academics.
All right. Cool. Oh yeah, Edgar's actually not dumb. He just acted sometime. So Edgar, you can recognize silver fairly easily, and all of the candelabras, all of the silverware, all of the plateware is silver.
Most of this is silver, except for the frame.
So why would they just leave all this here?
Maybe something chased them off, but I don't understand why they wouldn't come back.
If something chased them off, why would they still be this close by? If it chased them off, they'd want to get away from the property, right? I mean, like, think about all the other people we've encountered doing what we do. When something bad happens, they move away.
Yeah, this is really weird. You're not picking anything up, are you?
No, I don't. Wait. Oh no, you mean like my thing?
Yes.
Gee, I can try. And Rose will try and sense the unnatural.
Go ahead and give me that roll.
Okay. Three.
Okay. So there's faint traces of it out the back door.
There's something out the back door, maybe, or maybe it was like something went the back way a while ago.
Well, phone is not here with us now.
Yeah, no, it's super faint.
So with that, we are going to switch to the people in the front.
Okey-dokey.
Quentin opens the door. This one, again, kind of sticks a little bit. Creaks when you open. Pretty decent layer of dust.
Well, at least this door isn't used very often.
Yes, that just makes me curious as to how the windows are clean. Or clean
Right.
her.
Well, we can ask them about the back door. I'm sure that's much more used.
Potentially. And you look around, and it's your basic foyer. It's got the staircases both sides. All of the woodwork is, if you hit it hard enough, it'll probably break. But it's together. The metalwork that's there is rusted. It's not disintegrating. There's not enough moisture that has gotten to it. And yes, the house is extremely structurally sound, from what you can tell. Go ahead and give me a wits and awareness, please.
Two.
Okay. So you see there's furniture in here. Seems to be an oddly large amount of furniture. Of like tables, and it's like a couch in here, which it's time worn and eaten. And on everything there's just like a lot of like decorations, and it all seems to be metallic.
What do you mean there's an odd amount? Like it was gathered into the room or a lot was left?
Like instead of your normal like a table over here, and maybe a table in the middle, there's like 3 tables on one side, another couple tables on the other side, and then next to the door there's a couple tables. There's a large table in the middle with like a couch behind it.
That's really weird.
Yes, it seems a bit odd, but it's,
Yeah.
I guess it's not completely unheard of for them to get halfway through moving and then decide not to move some stuff.
I guess. What sort of...
But
You said decorations are all metal?
yes, they are metallic. They are shiny.
I want to go see what they are.
Okay, you may add your metallurgy specialty to this.
Intelligence and academics?
Yes.
Okay.
And Quentin would not know because he does not have academics.
3.
That's enough for you to know what silver is. You thwack it, and it doesn't have that same ring. And it's relatively soft.
This is weird. It's all silver. And if she glances around, it all looks the same, like the same metal?
Yes. And the silver that's there has not collected as much dust as everything else has.
If she picks one up, is there a dust ring?
There is a dust ring, but there's also an impression.
An impression.
So there's a layer of dust underneath it.
Oh, okay. So it was just sat. It was collected and sat on it.
Yes.
Dog needs out. I'll be able to hear.
We will move back to the other group until Faye gets back. Now that you've had a half of a minute to think.
Edgar's going to keep looking around, see how much more notably valuable stuff is lying around.
Not a ton.
Exclusively just silver.
It looks like just the silverware, silver platters, silver stuff in general. The chandelier's still there, but it looks fragile. If you go to move it, it probably will break. So that's probably why they didn't move it. Would you like to move any of the stuff? Either of you?
Yes.
Okay. So Edgar picks up the plate, and he sees that there's a layer of dust, and then the second layer of dust that kind of collects and makes a secondary ring. So he sees the same thing that Rose saw. Or not Rose.
Gladys.
Gladys has seen. Sorry.
While Edgar is doing that, Rose is going to be looking around for signs of recent disturbance, whether it's footprints or smudges in the dust or things that look like they might have been moved, just things like that.
You don't detect any.
Plates look like they've been moved around. There's dust underneath them as well.
Is there more dust on top of them or underneath them?
There is more on top, but there's definitely a fair bit underneath. They have probably been here undisturbed for a couple of years at least. 4 or 5, maybe 6. But the layer of dust that's underneath them is probably a year of collection on its surfaces.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Happened 5 years ago. I remember something happened somewhere, maybe.
While you two ponder that, we will go back to Gladys and Quentin.
So Gladys is going to pick up whatever it is, like a candlestick or something, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
She's going to pick it up and just kind of like palm it as they continue walking. This looks like it was collected here, and the tables do too, now that I noticed this. This is so strange.
Right.
Like, I get maybe not taking tables, but this?
Do you know what doesn't like silver?
Mm-hmm.
That works.
Yeah, Gareth was quite insistent that I learn that.
That worries me.
But why would it be collected here then?
Somebody trying to keep one of them out, potentially.
Maybe.
If they were squatting, it'd be the easiest way to keep them out.
It would. Would Gladys know the form stipulation behind that?
Probably not.
Okay. I wonder if there's more of this around the rest of the house. Because it wasn't like it was next to the front door. It was just off to the side.
Right. There also could be a silver aversion. I know some other things have that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where else would you like to look? And there are actually 5 doors here. There's 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and 1 straight ahead.
No markings or anything to tell what they are?
No, the 2 on the left, 2 on the right are double doors, though. The 1 straight ahead is a single sliding door. Like a
just
pocket door.
Before going into any of them, if they're unlocked, just left, right. Just glancing in.
Okay. So you open the one on the left immediately there, and it looks like a smoking room. A gentleman's smoking room. There's not a whole lot left in here. Looks like it's pretty well cleaned out. It still has a bit of an odor of what would be considered a good cigar. It stinks pretty bad. Go to the right, and it looks like the same thing, just for women. this still has sewing equipment in there, like an old foot-powered Singer sewing machine.
Right.
But it's probably unsalvageable at this point. And then you go back over to the left, and this looks like a trophy room of sorts. There's some tattered and worn pelts on the wall. There's a couple. If you were one to have a bit of a jumpy disposition, the mounts that are in here are quite unsettling because of how worn they are and with the holes in them.
Is there a theme to the animals?
It's mostly deer. The pelts that are there, there's one of a bear, there's one of maybe like an elk.
There's not just like wolves or bears or just a heavy theme to them.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And then the other side looks like maybe a washroom. There's a couple tubs in there. They're old stainless steel. Don't look like they've been used in years. This room specifically has about 6 inches of dust on everything, whereas everything else is like maybe 2.5 inches.
So in the rooms that we looked at, there is no abnormal congregation of silver in the rest of them?
No, they actually seem to be devoid of any.
Okay. Okay. All right, sliding door then?
And with the sliding door, you come into the dining room. And Rose and Edgar are discussing what they were just discussing.
Oh, hi.
Oh, Gladys.
Yes, it's me.
Something happened 5 years ago. What was
The
it?
families fought. The families broke up. That got worse. I don't exactly remember, but I think it was around that. Right, Quentin?
Yes, seems about right to me.
I think that's about the time they started laying out all this silverware.
Yeah, what is with this? And she'll hold up the candlestick. In the next to the foyer, there's like a ton of tables set out, and there's silver everywhere.
Yeah, we were just discussing why a family that was so hell-bent on collecting riches would just leave all this sitting here.
Right. I mean, at first we thought maybe they were just like in the middle of moving the tables and then just stopped, but then I found this, but there was a layer of dust underneath it, so someone moved it after.
Yeah, that's what Edgar was pointing out to me.
I know
That's
we've
why I
been
asked.
I know we've been tromping around, but is there any like footprints or dust, like footprints in the dust or anything that might not be from us?
No.
Okay. Yeah,
We also
I'm not. What?
We also found the painting.
Oh.
Oh,
Pointing out.
yeah! Yeah, you gotta take a look at it.
Okay. Go look at it.
It, much like what I described to those two, looks like the second painting more so than the first.
Well, I'm leaning on what they said a little bit heavier now. A little bit, at least. Is there any maker's marks on the frame that Gladys might be able to see? Or any stylistic?
It's actually pretty stock. I mean, it's fancy, but it's
Just making
nothing
sure.
stands out.
Just making sure.
Is there an artist signature on any of the scraps of painting that are left?
Not that you can tell.
Figured it was a long shot.
So I didn't see anything else. There was we passed a few rooms, but it was just smoking rooms, a trophy, and like a bathroom, washroom or something. Bathing room, whatever. Nothing crazy there. It was really just all the silver that caught my attention.
I did find stairs to the basement and a few servants' quarters.
Good. That's good. How was the door for you guys?
Creaky. Kind of had a little difficulty opening it.
Ours felt like it hadn't been open in a long time. So as we were looking around, was there regular stairs up or down?
Yes.
Okay. Well, do you want to split the stairs going up and down? Like, we both go up or down, but one of us takes servants, the other take the main? Or do we want to stick together? I just feel like we might go faster.
Yeah, it also wouldn't be a bad idea to have an idea of where the stairs and the servants' quarters come in and out. That way, if we need a second way out of something, we'll know where it is.
Mm-hmm. Up first?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
Do you want to keep this in groups?
Sure.
Okay. Do you guys want the main steps or the other ones?
I thought we take servants.
Okay.
Okay. So back from whence we came then. And Gladys and Quentin go back out to the main area and head upstairs. And Rose and Edgar head up the back.
As we're passing through the servants' quarters, to get to the stairs, does anything stand out? Like, are there any old, dusty books lying around or moth-eaten clothes that have been just kind of left out?
Nothing stands out as odd, except for one of the beds looks newer than the rest. It's not moth-eaten and springs aren't showing. It's still on the same rusty frame, but the mattress itself isn't in god-awful condition. You'd possibly sleep on it if you needed to. However, like I said, there was no tracks on the floor, so nobody slept on it in quite a while, if you had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
And you head up the back. Now, we'll start with Gladys and
Quentin.
Yes. You get upstairs, and it is your standard left-right hallway. It's kind of like an H format. Which way would you like to go?
Start with left.
Okay, so you go to the left, and looks like there are 4 doors on this side. Do you have a preference as to which ones?
Same zigzag, left, right, left, right.
Okay, well, it's all just that one side.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just let's probably start on the end. Start on the end and work up or work back.
Okay. So back of the house forward or front of the house back?
The farthest point from where we are standing entering.
Okay, so back of the house forward.
Yes. Quick question though. On the end of this hallway, assuming like that's what it is, right? It's the end of a hallway.
Yes.
Is that one of the windows?
There is a window out there, and there is also a hallway that goes across. And this is one of the clear windows.
Where does it look at? Where does this one look out to?
To the back of the house, where you saw the bear.
No footprints or anything that make it look like it had been stood at?
No.
Yeah,
You
start
make it.
doors.
Okay. When you get to the back and you kind of look out the window and you look down the hall, there are also 3 more doors along that back hallway.
Okay.
However, the entire back of the house is just filled with windows, bringing a lot of light in.
So it's on the interior.
Yeah, along that back hallway.
Yeah.
The exterior walls bring a lot of light in. If they leave the doors open, they can get a lot of light into the rooms. So you open that back left door, and it looks like a spiral staircase going up to the attic.
It's good to know. She will leave that one open.
Okay, and about that time, Rose and Edgar would see Gladys opening the door and leaving it open. They just go straight across to servants' staircase.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello again.
You guys... You want to go up, or there's a hallway behind me if you want to go that way?
Yeah, we'll check out the hallway.
Okay.
I'll finish looking at this level first before we start heading up further.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah, they are on the other side of the house. For clarification, I don't know if I made that clear.
Oh.
They're on the other end of the hallway, so you're kind of like yelling back and forth, but you do see each other.
Whatever. That's fine. It's not like it's new for Gladys to do that.
Yeah, and Rose and Edgar, you see much the same thing. You see the 3 doors there. You have 3 doors left on your side that aren't open. So I assume same time going down through.
I do, at least Gladys would leave the doors cracked as she wanders through them just to make sure that it's easy to tell which ones they've been in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you come to the first one, and it looks like a guest room of sorts. It's sparsely furnished. Obviously, there's probably about a queen-sized bed if you had to size it. You have an armoire and a dresser, as well as a mirror that's on the wall that's cracked. It's not shattered. It's still in serviceable condition. This is both sides. So if you need to look into it, you can. You don't need to look into it. Hasn't been touched in years. You move to the next one, and it actually looks like an actual bathroom. There's a bathtub. There is where you would go to the bathroom if needed, and there's a door leading to both sides. You would assume that this is where your guests would use whatever they need to use rather than go outside in the middle of winter. Again, hasn't been touched in years. The tiling on both of them, cracking coming off the wall. Some of them was shattered due to falling. And then the last one is the other guest bedroom. Much the same as the first. Hasn't been touched in quite a while.
Okay. A quick question above the table. What time are we sitting at right now?
It is a little bit afternoon.
Okay.
If one were to eat lunch, this would be about the time that you probably want to eat it.
And it took maybe an hour and a half to walk here? 2 hours?
Getting here was probably about an hour and a half, just because like you had to walk around the woods to find it a little bit.
So hour and a half back to the house we're staying at?
Say about an hour.
Okay. Just keeping that in mind. Okay. No more doors on this side currently?
No, not on either side. Because it is a mirror image of both sides.
Are you guys doing the back hallway, or were you guys doing the right hallway?
back hallway.
Okay. So as they come around, they can check the back hallway. The one on the far side looks to be a child's room. Or, well, a pair of children's rooms. It's one door, one room, 2 small beds, bunches of old toys in there. An old dollhouse, some porcelain dolls. They're kind of creepy, off-putting, but they're fine. Moth-eaten, normal stuff. The carpeting in here and like all of the decorations are very old, undisturbed. There is a door in the room that you would assume probably leads to the center room. And going in there, you find that it's actually a small holding area that has 2 doors in it. Potentially a servant's entrance to bathrooms to service and do whatever is needed. And then the last one looks like a master's quarter. Very large 4-post bed. The drapery around it is sagging. It is worn. It is torn. And it is stained. The bed itself is basically non-existent anymore. There is a ton of furniture in here. There's dressers and armoires. You can see old dresses that were just kind of left. The couches, the chairs, pretty much everything in this room is the epitome of decadence and kind of gross to realize that somebody actually lived like this. Because it is just that over the top. In here, though, there are a bunch of hunting trophies as well. Again, more deer, a couple bear, a couple elk. There's a rather large moose that once was over top of the fireplace that's in this room. However, it has since fallen onto the ground. The antlers are just kind of laying there.
Is there like some sort of big ornate roll top desk or something of that kin?
Not a roll top desk, but there is a desk that is in the room.
Rose will move to go check out the desk.
Okay. You go into the room and again, a nice thick layer of dust. You go to disturb the desk and it's extremely sticky. So can I please get a strength and athletics? Don't roll too well, otherwise it'll cause even more problems.
It's okay. I don't think I can roll well. You know I do not build physically capable characters ever. Yeah, I only got 2.
Okay. So you have to jiggle it a little bit and you get the center drawer open. And the papers that are in there are very faded. When you go to handle them, they just kind of crumble. There is, however, a very nice fountain pen in there.
Can I just pick it up and see if it's like monogrammed or anything?
It is not monogrammed. However, it is engraved with kind of like running deer down it. It's very small. And it's kind of hard to make out now. But at one point, it was probably very pretty.
After looking at it for a minute, Rose will put it back and keep searching.
Okay. You go to open the rest of the drawers. And by this point, Gladys has made it back. And here's Rose fiddling around in there. And what is Edgar doing during this?
Checking the armoire and dressers, see if there's anything interesting inside them.
Just a bunch of old mothy clothes. And is Gladys wanting to join them in the room?
There's 3 other doors that haven't been opened yet, right?
No, this is the last door back there.
I meant on the other side of the hallway.
I was going to just say that they open those as well.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
Okay. So you come in and you see much the same. Do you want to search anything before I get back to Rose?
I mean, they've already searched the armor. They're searching the desk. What's left?
Under the bed.
Under the bed and the trophies, if you want to take anything off of them. Like antlers or anything.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I guess look under the bed. Ooh, if she can get Quentin to help her lift the mattress, just to make sure nothing was tucked under the mattress. Or get Edgar to help.
Yeah. Between you three, you flip the mattress over, what's left of it. And you do see a small foot locker that was tucked under the bed. But there's nothing under the mattress.
Edgar, you want to pull that out?
Sure.
And it screeches as Rose opens the other door.
You mean Gladys?
No, Rose.
Oh,
on the desk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm going to go let Zara in. I'll bring her.
You're good. And Rose, in those drawers, you find a old hunting knife. It still looks sharp. The handle is made of, you think, a deer antler. You're pretty sure it's deer antler, but you're not 100% sure. As well as a small hatchet. And on the other side, you do find an old jewelry box. It's got a ring in there. It's got a necklace, but nothing else.
Is any of it inscribed or monogrammed or anything like that?
No, the ring looks like an old wedding ring or an engagement ring. It's just got a jewel on it, and then the necklace itself looks like it has a decent sized sapphire on it. And it's blue sapphire, if anybody's curious.
Mm. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised this all just got left here. And Rose will turn to the others. She's got the knife in one hand and the necklace in the other hand. It's like, I mean, this is perfectly good stuff. I mean, like, the clothes I get, but, like, some of this looks personal.
You said either maybe something ran them off, or then maybe they're just rich enough to not care.
Now, I assume Gladys is crowbarring the footlocker open.
Might try and see if she can pick the lock, unless crowbarring looks like it's going to be the easiest route due to the rust and everything.
It'll absolutely be the easiest route.
She'll wedge it in there. Here, Edgar, I can't do this.
Strength and athletics and add a die.
I'm so glad I grabbed the crowbar.
Mm-hmm.
Three.
Yeah, it pops open like butter. Just kunk.
Good job.
And it flops open to an old Union uniform.
Oh.
As well as a musket that looks like it actually might be able to be salvaged and be put into working order.
Here, Edgar. Shove.
Thanks.
It would probably do more physical damage than either of your rifles when used. However, it will be a one shot, one go type thing.
Just hold it. We might be able to use it.
Are we sure we should be taking things from the house? I mean, it's
Didn't they say they
technically
didn't
still
care?
someone's property.
I thought they said they didn't care. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't really care. Stars now.
To the attic?
There's nothing else in the box.
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Yes, to the attic. We only found one entrance to the attic?
Correct.
Okay.
Rose will set the stuff she's holding back down on the desk and make her way out with the rest of the group.
Okay. So, you head up to the attic. And both windows up here have been cracked open. You don't know if they were left open on accident or what happened. They are a bit larger. Like somebody could probably fit through it if they really wanted to. But, yeah. And as such,
where do these ones look out
to? I'm sorry?
Where do these ones look out to?
One out the front and one out the back. And these are a little bit cleaner as well. But as such, with the draft that's up here, there seems to be a lot less dust up here. There is still some in the corners and such, but
with the nice cross breeze, definitely.
Yeah. And everything up here seems to be covered. It looks like just a bunch of old furniture, a bunch of old stuff. However, to your surprise, about 3/4 of the way through the room, there's actually an old safe.
Go ahead.
It's kind of sitting by itself. Not completely by itself, but kind of like showpieced off, I guess.
Before we get to the safe, are there any other pieces that look like they might be like chests or like containers?
Yeah, I mean, there's old steamer trucks up here and stuff like that.
All of them have coverings on them except the safe?
The chest and the trunks, not so much. They are kind of exposed. Most of them, the exterior's warped and peeling.
Yeah.
Would you like to open any of them?
I kind of do. Just go through and give it quick, unless something really catches the attention.
Okay. So you open the first couple, and it's just like old kids' clothes. You open the next one, it's just like photos, which there's not many of them, but there are photos.
Interesting. Are they in good condition?
No. They're
Okay.
legible, but they're not in good condition. You open another one, and it is a bunch of smaller paintings. It looks like it's something that somebody made at home, and like some needlepoint stitching, which is started to fray a bit. And then the last one, you go to open it, and it lashes out with its tongue, and it's a mimic.
Oh boy.
That's a joke, obviously. Last one you open up, and it is just like tablecloth, like tablecloths and like sheets and stuff like that.
Who's good at safe cracking?
I am not.
Probably me then.
Well, if you must know, I'm not bad at it.
Well, no one's judging here. Why don't you go take a crack at it?
Okay. I would suggest not standing directly behind me in case if I open it and they've got some sort of trap. or something?
Sure. Off to the side.
Sure.
Anything odd about anything surrounding the safe?
Not really. Nothing odd. There's not a whole lot of space around the safe to kind of like stand off to the side. You can stand off to the side though. I got, let's see here, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like clockwork, he just like puts his ear to the safe and he's like 1, 2, 3, and wings it open. And inside there is a piece of paper that seems to be in a bottle, along with some other valuables, some old money, a necklace, a ring, and then a brooch.
Does the ring look like a signet ring?
It does not.
Okay.
It just looks like a very expensive ring. It's got a ruby on it, along with some other jewels.
What
I'm
about
not
the
gonna-
brooch?
I want to open the bottle.
The brooch is, again, silver. It is inlaid with a bunch of small blue and green, which it's actually emerald at that point, sapphire. And it's kind of in the shape of like a beetle. It's very pretty. It's just odd. And the necklace, again, is a fairly decent sized emerald.
Is the bottle sealed?
Bottle has a cork in it.
But no wax or anything sealing it?
No. And it just kind of looks like somebody just pushed the cork in there.
Oh, I'm so tempted.
Should we do it in a more climate-controlled environment, quote unquote?
You mean like the
Uh,
house that is paying us to do this and we don't know what's going on with them?
To
We
be
can lock
fair,
doors.
the bottle's fairly climate controlled. I know there's some heat fluctuation, but at least there's not going to be a whole lot of humidity fluctuation in there.
I mean, if we open it now, it might be a problem.
I don't see why it would be.
Okay.
So you uncork and slide the thing out?
As long as the paper doesn't look brittle through the bottom.
No, it doesn't. It actually looks hydrated enough to be able to handle.
Okay. Cleans her hands off to the best of her ability and then dries it to get all like the dust and grime off and everything. I'm assuming they have like a small water bottle or something. But dry hands. And then, yeah.
Okay. So you do that and you pull the bottle out, or you pull the piece of paper out. You go to like unravel it, and the top of the paper says, "This will hereby," and then you hear it. And I need everybody to give me a stamina and resolve, please. Okay.
1.
3.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Ooh, should I might willpower this.
You can if you want.
I'm only gonna roll 2 dice, but I feel like I should. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna roll power. We'll
4.
power this too.
All right, Rose. Let me know what you see, or you get.
4.
Okay, so Rose and Gladys, you see Edgar and Quentin almost pass out immediately. Or pass out almost immediately. Your vision gets very hazy very quickly. And then you see the butler ascend the stairs. Good. They're going to be very, very happy that we've got another one for them as you pass out. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Dengle!
What?
Dengle!
That's a good spot to end it, dang it.
It is.
So, let us do announcements. So, for all of you that are still with us, we thank you for being with us here on Twitch. If you are not with us on Twitch, if you're on any of the other platforms, look at our link tree to find us on Twitch and Discord and YouTube and all of the socials and all of our podcasting places. Because, yes, you should follow us and subscribe and like and do all the things on all of those things. And you should definitely join our Discord. Also on that link tree is a link to dicelegion.com. We have used their dice. I used their dice tonight. Along with other dice, obviously. They have stuff like dice trays and keychains and stickers and clothing and just all sorts of fun stuff. So use that link. You'll get a discount when you check out. And we'll get a little bit of that money that you checked out with. So it'll help us out because then we can do more stuff, more fun stuff here. And if you're feeling extra generous and feel like you want to do it, we have Patreon as well. You know how Patreon works. I'm not going to explain it to you because, yeah. So if you can, that'd be great. If you cannot, the only other thing that we ask you to do is tell everybody and your mother that we do this, and get them to start listening to us because that would help us out a lot. Algorithms are definitely a thing, and they are difficult to overcome at times. So I think that pretty much catches everything. Besides, join us this Thursday if you're here live with us still for Blood and Hope Detroit rather than Nichol's Cryptid Catchers.
Yeah. Like, comment, follow, subscribe. Please.
Yes, do all of those things. We like the feedback. If you want to talk to us in real time, like I said, we've got a Discord. We'll talk to you. We like to talk to people. And we have pet pictures. You'll see Nosferatu and Hecata, and Zeva. And
Or just
Potato
join
Cat.
us on Stream Chat because I've been chatting with someone all night.
Disco Phantom.
Yes. Yay, call
Yes.
outs.
Yes. I had to look. So, yeah. If you want to stick around for post-game talk, there will probably be some spoilers. Let's be real here. If not, have a good evening.
Good night.
Yes.
Oh boy, oh boy. Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. You mean yes, definitely?
Yeah. So, what do you want to ask about first?
That fucking bear.
Yeah, surprise.
It's a werebear.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no way it's a kindred bear.
No, and it's not a ghoul bear because screw that. Mm-mm.
I mean,
I don't-
technically, with the way we set up a certain couple of families, that is possible.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. Probably not.
Probably not a bear.
No.
Damn it, Dante.
Yeah. See, he would absolutely do that. He would love that.
So we have a werebear on our hands.
They are around, yes.
Oh no. Oh wait, oh god. Oh god, no. Oh fuck. That one family is bulldozing trees and land.
What? Do you...
Oh god.
Does anybody besides Faye have a guess as to what the family's names are truly?
Nope.
You told me, but it's 1:45 and I'm tired and my brain cells are not functioning on all cylinders.
So, above board, spoiler alert, Grimaldi and Bradovich. They are revenant families for Zemitzi clans.
Mm-hmm.
They are hound masters.
Bradovich are. Grimaldi are science and occult masters.
Yes. So, yeah. That's fun.
Woo! Oh, what fun! Also, above table spoilers, you may have met one or two of the Grimaldi family in Detroit with cat schools and you just didn't know it.
One that I know of, if you want to adapt to another one, you can.
Well, there's been a couple of ghouls that you've dealt with from her, unnamed ones, that just, like, showed you back and stuff. Like, those were Grimaldi.
Yep, and there may or may not have been a mention of one other person.
Yes.
But we have to figure out who that is first.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yay! All the fun! Also, does anybody have any idea who that cloaked figure was?
I very much doubt it was a person in either of the paintings.
It was the werebear.
No.
No. I mean, I'm 100% willing to bet it's a kindred. I just don't know who.
Yes, it is a kindred. It may or may not be the last time that they were at that estate. And they may have run away after that to do other bigger things, as they see it, at least. Yes, it's specifically for Faye.
I don't... Oh!
There you go. There you go.
Oh, God.
There's your mention. Yeah.
Okay.
There's your mention.
Oh, it took me a minute. I did not know about that one.
I feel like I'm 2/3 of the way there, but I'm still missing something.
It's background stuff that kind of, but also really hasn't come up.
Yeah. It's more so Easter egg for Faye than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Until you're in the know, and then you'll be like, oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Wait.
Give me 6 more experience, and then you'll start to learn. It's fine.
Wait.
You're fine! Don't think about it.
Wait.
Don't think about it!
I'm thinking about it, and I don't like it.
It's not Cyril, and it's not his sire.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
It's fine.
Of course it is. It's the world of darkness. Everything's fine. Speaking of everything being fine, is there anything I need to prep for Thursday?
If you want to do things, give me a list. Above table might be meeting a Tremere.
Oh boy, that'll be fun.
Yep.
So bring out the stakes and the torches.
Hey.
Yeah, I have to figure out which clans I'm still missing. Outside of Bruja. I'll figure that out. I probably will double check with Dengle.
Yes, I have them all written down.
Yeah, we'll do that after. But yeah, if you want anything fun, Tremere shit, or anything else like that, let me know.
Okay.
Because you will be getting a message from the Tremere saying like, hey, our representative is coming to see you. Well, Yuri will, at least.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. I will.
So you guys will basically wake up to that, so.
Wonderful. I will ponder that. I will ponder that tomorrow when I am functional. I am off to bed. Farewell.
Any other questions for me last minute? So many, but none that you want to ask right now.
Well, yes, but no. Yeah, exactly. All right. Adios.
Night.
Oh, boy.
You two want to ask me.
Is the werebear collecting the silver?
No.
Okay. That's really throwing me off. Like, what the hell is going on with the silver?
So, above where the werebear was squatting at the mansion, when the families moved in, they wanted to drive them away, so they just put silver everywhere.
Okay.
Not realizing that if the bear really wanted to, they could just enter in human form. It would make them uncomfortable, but it wouldn't hurt them.
Okay. I would just... It wasn't near, like, doors or anything like that, so I wasn't...
Well, the front was. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Weird, but okay.
There's enough activity there now, though, that they can get away with, or the bear doesn't go in there because they don't want to cause any further issue for themselves since they're a solitary person.
Makes sense. What was with that last line the butler said?
Which one?
He's helping the bear.
What?
He's helping the bear.
No, he said like they'll be happy to have another one.
Yes. So, Faye, what are the Bradoviches?
Right.
What are their dietary restrictions?
They eat the people.
Yes. You may or may not wake up to being fed on.
Oh, cool. Oh, yes. Oh, God. Gladys is gonna freak the fuck out.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Oh, God.
Just preparing you for all of this.
Oh, God. Are we still gonna have our bags?
They will be close by, but you will not have them on you.
Okay. So if they don't go through it. Actually, go through it. That's fine. Do it. How dare you? Problem solved.
Yeah. Now, the thing to remember is that takes a sanity to reactivate every time you do.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm only down one.
Yeah.
So
use it sparingly.
Oh man. Well, I would just close it that way. They can open it. They can start it. Oh shit. That's not good. The butler? The butler was Grimaldi, though.
Yes.
Grimaldi aren't cannibals.
Right. Grimaldi also don't do the hounds that they had.
Right.
So there's a trade of goods there.
They
get the people, and they get hounds to replace the ones they lose.
Mm. Okay,
and it's a symbiotic relationship.
that makes sense.
But yes, absolutely, they plan on demolishing the forest to drive that stupid bear out.
That ain't gonna go well for them.
Yeah, that bear's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, that bear might actually go find some more Guru. The Pharaoh, whatever they're calling him now.
Yeah, something like that. But just kind of winging some of the stuff with that bear.
Yeah.
But it'll show up.
Okay. Question. That book that we found, the list of names that you said it wasn't relevant, was it just like a family history?
It was the list of revenants the entire way down through.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's why the older ones wouldn't matter. They've either been embraced or they're dead.
Gotcha. So I should have picked middle or end.
Toward the end would have been better.
Damn.
Yeah. Which, again, probably wouldn't have yielded a whole lot on the spot, but you could get more out of it.
That sucks. Although maybe she'll swipe the book before they leave, if she can. She would do that.
You will not be in either of those houses afterward.
Damn.
Now, Faye, who is that painting of?
Vladimir.
Yes. The old clan Zemitzi. Progenitor, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, they're very bold about it, too.
I'm very curious as why there's two different ones, though.
One's keeping up appearances more. Because the other one actually is of the original founder of the estates thing. They have a picture of him. It's just not where everybody else can see. That's in their family ceremony area.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I can't think of any more like irrelevant questions that will help or get answers.
So who's ready to make a prison escape from a cannibalistic revenant family?
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Fun's a word.
Fun is a word.
Yay. God damn, why can't we have cell phones? Gareth, get out here and help me.
Because it would make so much more, it would make it so much easier.
I know.
I hope this one is as fun as the last one.
I'm sure it will be. Gotta love Revenants, gotta love Kindred. So much fun.
Yes, gotta love canon, like, oh my god, these people are terrible.
Yes.
So yeah. The majority of the next at least the first half of next session will probably be you're locked up. It'll be fun.
Yep. Yeah, I don't have any more relevant questions.
I think I'm all set too.
Okay. So, since that's the case, we thank everybody for joining us. If you're stuck around this long, and hopefully the spoilers aren't too big for you. And we hope to see you next time, whether it be live or wherever you're hearing this at / watching. So you have a good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. And take care of yourself.
Yes, thank you. Have a good one. Enjoy.